What's up, guys? Matt Brown here for thelines.com, playpicks.com, and today I'm going to talk to you about Tom freaking Brady and where he might play the first snap of the 2019-2020 NFL season. Guys, as always, if you're not a subscriber to this page yet, please hit that subscribe button. Really do appreciate you being here. And let us know in the comment section. First, give us a thumbs up. But on the way, let us know in the comment section as well as to where you think he is going to end up playing, or if you think that there's a good bet available out there in any of these. And as we move through here, you know, this time of year, guys, you're going to find golf content, XFL content, the NFL, I mean, whatever, all the content you're looking for over here on thelines.com. So be sure and take a look over there. So let's take a look at these markets here as to where Tom Brady is going to end up playing. And this is going to come as no surprise to any of you guys. It doesn't matter where we look. This is William Hill. Here's FanDuel. Here's MGM. And then here's PointsBet. Of course, the Patriots are going to be the favorite in every one of these markets. So just for the sake of this, let's move past the Patriots. I mean, I assume if you're betting something like this, you're probably wanting some plus money. So let's go through some of these other teams here and figure out if any of this stuff makes sense. So here at William Hill, we got the Raiders sitting at plus 450, the Titans sitting at plus 450. So we'll start here with the Raiders at plus 450 at William Hill. Now you go over here to FanDuel, you'll see the Raiders all the way up at plus 900, so 9-1. Twice as good of the odds if you go over there. Raiders at 500 at MGM, and then you go to PointsBet and you go over here and you see the Raiders at 700. What does all this have in common here, guys? Huge presence in Nevada for William Hill, huge presence in Nevada for MGM, East Coast presence for FanDuel and PointsBet, where you are getting the better odds because, hey, the Raiders are coming to Las Vegas. Las Vegas people are betting Tom Brady to come to the Raiders because they are just being hopeful here. I mean, look, the only way this works is if the Raiders get rid of Derek Carr. They've not done so yet. There hasn't been any advanced talks of any of that. If you listen to all the people who talk about this, they're saying, yeah, at the end of the day, it really looks like it would be one of these other teams. If he were to leave, then it would be the Raiders. All this got going, of course, Tom Brady seen talking to Mark Davis at one of the UFC fights in Las Vegas. And ever since then, these rumors have been running rampant. Supposedly they own property here in Las Vegas, but I mean, they're super rich. Between him and his wife, they are really, really rich. I bet you they own property all over this great country of ours and probably all over this great world of ours. So I can only imagine that that them owning property here does not mean that he is interested in the Raiders. But again, if you believe so, East Coast, way, way, way better than you are going to find, in Nevada. If you go to one of these books that is predominantly on the East Coast and isn't balancing out liability between what they're getting pounded on in Nevada. So take a look there. Plus, if you're Tom Brady, I mean, look, they don't have any weapons there. The problem with Derek Carr for this Raiders team was his number one wide receiver was supposed to be Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown goes Looney Tunes, and then it's Tyrell Williams. And Tyrell Williams is a really good number two. He is not a number one. And with that, there's just not enough really weapons there, I don't think, to make it as appealing to Tom Brady. It's not a PR move. They're moving to a new $2 billion stadium in Las Vegas. All the tickets are already sold out. It's not like they need the pub. It's not like they need him there to sell tickets. All that's already taken care of. So that's where we sit with that. The Titans are at 4.5-1 here at William Hill. When we flip over, you can see. Now here's a big differing of opinion. 250 here at FanDuel, over at MGM, 350, and then over at PointsBet, sitting at 200. So if you want the best odds on the Titans, that's when you actually go back to William Hill here at 4.5-1. If you're the Titans, my only question here is, and this is something you have to ask yourself if you're looking to maybe bet on the Titans, is Tom Brady better than Ryan Tannehill is at this point in his career? We're talking about a 42-year-old Tom Brady, not very mobile. We've definitely seen a lack of arm strength with him, the decline in his arm strength over the last couple of seasons. And Ryan Tannehill really did prove to be a nice starting quarterback in the league. Showed some nice mobility with his legs, good arm strength, some rapport with some of those young receivers there. If you're the Titans, is it Tom Brady? Is Tom Brady better than Ryan Tannehill? And that's what you're asking yourself here. And if you're Tom Brady, you also ask yourself, hey, I'm going to the Titans here. And yeah, they have a couple of weapons. Derrick Henry, of course, is certainly somebody in the backfield that you can look at, but really young receiving core. Not like there's any real experience there outside of the one season. You know, AJ Brown was amazing, but I mean, he's still a super young dude there. So if you're Tom Brady, do the Titans really even make sense for you as a player? Chargers sitting plus 550. Come over here to FanDuel. You will find the Chargers at 850. So again, William Hill, Chargers 550, tons of Nevada business, really close to California. East Coast book, you're looking at Chargers at 850. MGM, Chargers 800. PointsBet, Chargers sitting at 700. So we're actually getting our best odds on the Chargers over here at FanDuel, sitting at 850. I don't know if it's going to happen, but this is the one that seems to make the most sense, right? This one seems to be the most logical when it's all said and done. You have a team that just got rid of their longtime quarterback in Phillip Rivers. You have actual weapons around Tom Brady. If you're Tom Brady, maybe the Chargers look actually really good to you. They just re-signed Austin Eckler. They're going to franchise tag Hunter Henry. You have wide receiving options all over the place here for the Chargers. You got a good defense as well, one that compete. I understand you do play right next to the Chargers, and that, I mean, right next to the Chiefs, who just won the Super Bowl, and that's something that you're not going to be able to dodge if you go to the Chargers. However, do you think that you're good enough with those weapons around, and Keenan Allen and Hunter Henry and Austin Eckler, and maybe they re-sign Melvin Gordon, who knows? Do you think that that is enough to win a championship with the defense that they have coming back here? Chargers, without a quarterback as we sit right now, seems like the most logical landing spot of all the other teams to me. But hey, it's not up to me, so that's where we sit right here. Field or any other team right here sitting at 10-1. It's worded differently on some of the other sites, so be sure that you take a look. See, this is no team or retired here at FanDuel. Over here, you're going to look and you're going to see even no language here over at BetMGM. It's basically all teams here, so they don't even have a retired as an option. So if you're looking for that, you're going to have to head over to FanDuel. And over here as well at PointsBet, not listed. So if you want that, just head over to FanDuel. You're going to take the 38-1 on no team or that he is going to retire. The only other team that is getting a lot of pub here is the Bucks, and we know this situation with the Bucks. They're 1,400 here. Over on FanDuel, you can find the Bucks at 1,400 as well. You got the Bucks sitting here at 1,500 at MGM, and then you have the Bucks sitting over here at 1,500 at PointsBet. So we'll go to MGM where we're getting 1,500 on them, 15-1 on the Buccaneers. So this team, again, looking like they might move on from Jameis Winston. I still feel like they re-sign Jameis Winston. If you're Bruce Arians and you got guys like Chris Godwin and you got guys like Mike Evans and you got all this O.J. Howard at tight end, you got all this talent, it seems to me like you want a big-armed quarterback that can push the ball down the field. Tom Brady not being that guy anymore. If you're Tom Brady, you look at the Bucs, and I mean, yeah, you're playing in the same division with the Saints and maybe a Falcons team that rebounds here, but you got to look at those weapons and say, Evans, Godwin, O.J. Howard, whatever they end up doing at the running back position, that's fairly intriguing when you look at the way that the Patriots were built last year, where he really had no weapons around him at all. Then he'd be going to a Bucs team that had all the weapons. I mean, who would not want to throw the ball to a duo of Evans and Godwin? And then, oh, by the way, you have O.J. Howard as your tight end as well. So whenever you take a look at that, I mean, that is a pretty interesting scenario here. Again, though, for me, if you're Tom Brady, Bucks, are they really able to compete? We saw a team that had no defense really whatsoever last year. They came on a little bit towards the end of the season, but was not able really to compete on the defensive side of the ball. And again, you're playing in the same division as the Saints, which look with Drew Brees coming back to still be good. So is there a true path to victory if you're Tom Brady here, if you want to go to a team like the Bucks? I mean, it seems super fun, play for Bruce Arians, the whole 9 yards. That seems like an interesting scenario, but that's where we sit with that. Now, if you go over here to William Hill, you can see some of these other teams are far deeper in the odds than they are at some of these other books. See, the Colts all the way down here at 30-1, but you go to FanDuel over here. I mean, some of these other ones. So Colts sitting at 38-1, but then you head over here, and for whatever reason, the Colts sitting at 14-1 at MGM. They must have a lot of liability on them. They must have a lot of, and then 20-1 here at PointsBet. So if you went all the way over here, Colts at 38-1, yeah, he's been linked to the Colts. He's been mentioned, well, not linked, mentioned with the Colts because the Colts do need a quarterback. You saw the struggles with Jacoby Brissett last year. That being said, if you're Tom Brady, you're not going to live in Indianapolis. I know that there is some vanity that's involved, and if you're going to move out of the cold and the snow and all that up there in Foxborough, you're not going to Indy. You're going to Vegas, or you're going to California, or you're going to Florida. You're doing something like that. You're not going to Indianapolis. And further with that, again, you look around and it's like T.Y. Hilton is really talented when he's on the field, but he misses several games every single season. There's just a lot to take into account there. So I don't know if we're going to actually be seeing Tom Brady in Indy here. If you kind of look down the list a little bit further, I think the San Francisco thing is way, way, way overblown. They're going to stick with Garoppolo. He had one bad game. Yeah, unfortunately, it was the Super Bowl, but the dude got him to the Super Bowl. And, I mean, I just can't see them. Again, is Tom Brady an upgrade over Jimmy Garoppolo at this point in his career? My answer, no. Is Tom Brady needed for any sort of marketing purposes or getting people in the stands? No. That's the other thing about the Chargers that makes so much sense is it's as big of a PR move for this team as it is an actual football move. Because when you look at this is a team that is switching cities, has no fan base really carried over, and was struggling to fill up a soccer stadium. Now going to move into a big new stadium and need some sort of splash, need some sort of PR with all this. And that's why another reason why it makes a lot of sense with the Chargers. The Cowboys are going to franchise Dak if they can't sign him to a long-term deal. So this makes no sense whatsoever. The Dolphins have Rosen. They have Fitzpatrick. They're going to draft Tua, and Tua's going to sit for a year, and then he's going to be the starter. This makes no sense. No way he's going to the Dolphins either. He's not going to a team that doesn't compete. Same deal with the Giants. They're just not ready to compete. Zero chance that he's going to go there as well. I've heard some loose things about the Bears. Of course, they're looking to possibly move on from Mitch Trubisky at 50-1. But again, if you're Tom Brady, you can go live in Chicago with all this. It just seems to me like a long shot there as well. But you can see, I mean, it's shorter odds over at PointsBet, sitting at 33-1. The Bears at 40-1 over at MGM. And then when you come over to William Hill, only 30-1. So certainly a little bit of smoke out there when it comes to this. The Broncos are going to stick with Drew Lock. He's not going to Denver either. But of the shortest odds, here, of course, it looks like he will end up back with the Patriots, and that's why the shortest odds are there. The familiarity, been there forever. Does him and Belichick, do they just go ahead and decide to just fist bump and go ahead and do it for another couple of years here and promise that they're going to bring in some weapons around or whatever? That's kind of my feeling. But if I was looking around again, I think the only team that makes a lot of sense to me is the Chargers. Look, it's certainly sexy, the Bucs, with all those playmakers. There's no doubt about that, but I don't know if Tom wants to go to a team that isn't ready to compete from day one, and I don't think the Bucs are ready to compete from day one here if Tom Brady were to step in to the saddle there. And you look at all these other, again, some of these other teams, and I think this is just trying to draw some money here, but there's, again, no way he's going to Dallas, no way he's going to New York, no way he's going to Miami. I guess the Bears are at least a possibility. Are the Lions really going to, if they're going to move away from a veteran Matt Stafford, wouldn't they just draft a quarterback or try to start over or try to get a younger guy in there or something? Doesn't make a lot of sense there either. Panthers just re-signed Cal Allen to a year-long deal, so I don't know if that necessarily means that they wouldn't take a shot on a Tom Brady, but there's still Cam Newton floating around out there. The Pittsburgh Steelers at 50-1 is the only other one that if you're looking for a super long shot, that I can at least talk you into a narrative where it makes sense, where Ben Roethlisberger's arm just doesn't work anymore. When you look at what they rolled out last year, Mason Rudolph and Duck Hodges, they were last and second to last No, last and third to last as far as rating over at Pro Football Focus as far as quarterbacks go. That's how bad the quarterback play was for the Steelers. The defense is so incredibly good. They wasted an opportunity last year. If Ben Roethlisberger can't give it a go, would they try to just make one last run at it with this unbelievable defense that they have? And would they try to make that move? And would they try to make that splash play with Tom Brady? But that is really all that makes sense to me whatsoever if you're going to be betting this Tom Brady 2020-2021 NFL week. And again, look how this is worded, guys, just so you know. It has to be the first snap of the season. Tom Brady's week 1 team. Tom Brady's first regular season snap. You see like how these are all worded here. NFL week 1 team. It isn't will he play for any of these teams. Week 1 team. So just be sure you're aware of the wording in all of these in case you put in a bet and you're kind of like, hey, why don't I win my bet if something weird happens? That's why. Just be sure of the wording here. Guys, as always, thanks for watching the video. We'll be back with tons and tons of content here over the next couple of months, breaking down every single sporting event that is going to be going on. So please hit that subscribe button. You'll be the first to know when it actually happens. And of course, come to the lines early and often, just tons and tons of content over here for just about everything that is going on in the sports world. Give us a thumbs up on this vid and let us know in the comments how you think this is going to play out. Let's just assume he's not going back to Patriots. And even if you think he's going back to Patriots, be like, I think he's going back to Patriots, but if I was betting another team, it would be this, because we all kind of think he's going back to the Patriots. But if not, where do you think Tom Brady is going to end up? Can't wait to see the responses in the comments below. Appreciate the watch, guys. Talk to you soon.